Welcome to The Upgrade, the Hotel News Now Europe, Middle East and Africa podcast. Thank you very much for listening. I'm ably assisted today by our videographer and producer Owen Housig. Thanks for being here, Owen. We are on location in Berlin, Germany, at the International Hotel Investment Forum, the annual event, the largest event in the European hotel calendar, and already downstairs at the Intercontinental Berlin, it's filling up with people, stands, activity, coffee, cardamom tea from a Saudi Arabian stand. It's all going on, and it will carry on being extremely busy over the next 3 days. Berlin, what a wonderful city it is. It's my 12th time here, I believe. Nothing A-list about Berlin, maybe Brandenburg Gate, etc., but it's just a great city. It has a lot of pop culture history, which I love. David Bowie and Iggy Pop and Connie Plank and Hansa Studios. And it's just a great city. It has a unique formation. Obviously, during the Cold War, it was split in half. And it developed after that in 1989 when the wall fell down in a slightly different way from maybe other German cities did. Definitely developed in different ways. It was the cheapest place to live in Berlin for a while, so it attracted a lot of youth. I don't think that's quite the case anymore. I think prices are going up across the board. But we'll talk a bit more about Berlin later, because I'm very, very happy to introduce our guest at this podcast, Wesam Okasha. He is Managing Director of TUI Blue Hotels and also the Head of Global Development Asia, Greater China and the EMEA regions for TUI Hotels and Resorts. Welcome. You know Berlin very well. Tell us something about what you love about this city.
Thank you, Terence. Thank you for having me here. Actually, I love Berlin. I lived in Berlin 1.5 years back in the years
Really?
before. It was my first experience when I came here to open the Estrel Hotel.
What year?
Back, it was 98. So I lived 1.5 years here and I enjoyed it a lot because it's a cosmopolitan city. Now, I think every time I'm here, I'm very surprised about seeing Berlin evolving again and again and again. And also, like, the contrast of the city is an amazing cosmopolitan city where you see indeed the heavy past and history with modernity. And you see the diversity of the city for sure. I mean, you're absolutely right. Berlin is cost of living, and living in Berlin is not as before, especially after they opened East and West Berlin to each other. But also the last couple of years has shown us that Berlin become to be more and more important cosmopolitan city for all the businesses. This is why our head office as well is here, based here. And then the government relationship of the TUI group is sitting in Berlin, just facing the Brandenburger Tor.
The Berlin Wall fell in 89. I remember it, watching it on TV, but that's almost 40 years ago. So development prices and real estate prices probably in Berlin, as I hinted, are creeping up to probably rival other cities. I mean, it is the capital of Germany, arguably the most important German city.
It is indeed. It becomes to be number one, as much as I know. And the real estate and the cost of living in Berlin is really going higher and higher because of the simple fact that a lot of European and then UK people and business people are coming to the city and trying to operate from Berlin.
Even though the German economy stuttering still, I mean, it's a powerhouse of Europe, it always used to be. Presumably that will come back.
I think it will be definitely coming back. A lot of additional investment coming up from European, but also from abroad to the city. And I think Berlin is doing very well and will be doing better.
Well, fingers crossed, because I'm sure our head's going to be here for a number of years. Talk about TUI Blue Hotels and TUI Hotels and Resorts, all part of the TUI empire, of course. Obviously, a German company, London, Germany, big offices. You know, especially in those destinations which you have hotels, but which maybe TUI is the dominant package and all-inclusive operator in those countries. How are you having your hotels, standalone hotels, stand out in those markets? Is that, I mean, you're in Zanzibar now and in a few other places. Is there a definite development strategy and operational strategy for your standalone hotels to really kind of stand out in those markets to all travellers, not just anyone going through TUI?
Absolutely. I think when we started 2016 to create the core brand, which is the TUI Blue for the TUI group as such, it was to streamline a lot of different little brand which we have operated as a tour operator with third party, which are the owners in the destinations. So basically, we created the TUI Blue as a core brand. We focused on it, and we said we will roll it out with 50 hotels in the first 2 years. People didn't believe us because they said you cannot do it in 3 years, 50 hotels. We did 97. Now, meanwhile, it becomes to be the core brand with a lifestyle, number one lifestyle hotel brand within the group, where the guests differentiate us with the TUI Blue brand against all the classical package holidays. So it is clearly for a guest stream which is focusing on an experience driven stay.
I was talking to some people recently from Cabo Verde,
Yeah.
which is pretty much an all-inclusive market, and they want to obviously widen their offering to tourism. That must work for you anyway. I mean, it's like the rising tide raises all boats. I mean, you presumably you don't want to dominate a market completely, do you? I mean, it's good to have differentiation, and it might make more business sense to dominate, but in terms of the overall thing you're selling, which is the destination, it must work.
Cabo Verde is a very, very good example which you bring in here. It is not about dominating a market. It's about developing a domestic market. In Cabo Verde, I remember back in the years, we started 2001 with the first 3 hotels, 590 rooms. Meanwhile, we control over 9,000 rooms in Sal, and we are expanding more and more in other islands as well in the Cabo Verde. If I understand well, we produce about 80% plus of the local tourism in Cabo Verde because we have a clear commitment with different brands. We have a fantastic Robinson, we have 2 big Rio hotels, we have TUI Blue. We are working on further TUI Magic Life and other brands on other type of the island. We are investing in the island as well. And this is our commitment to a destination like Cabo Verde, where we definitely contribute to the general development of the destination itself.
It was a breakout session at the Madrid conference in January. I was talking to a Cabo Verde people. There was a representative from the airport, the CEO of the airport. I didn't realise that they make a great deal of money of any plane passing over Cabo Verde airspace, which you think a small group of islands in the Atlantic, but it's a large area. And the other person on the panel was from Atlantico Oasis Hotels, which is smaller entity from TUI. But it was a very interesting conversation. Your brand for Mora has just had its first birthday, hasn't it? So how's that going? Has it been tweaked? What are guest reactions to that brand? And do you have any kind of pipeline and development notions in mind?
The Mora has a really fantastic first year celebration. I think the Mora is doing very, very well in Zanzibar. It is evolving and developing further through guest experience. We have a higher guest experience, but also occupancy-wise, it's doing fantastically. The Mora is definitely the luxury brand which is called a la carte because we do not have the typical luxury experience in this hotel. It is a very flexible brand in terms of services. That means the guest has the full liberty to eat where he wants, as he wants, at the time he decides to. And also additional different luxury experiences are integrated in this brand. The reason why I think this brand has a fantastic future. We have over a dozen of signing which we have done already, and we are mixing up now not only with a luxury experience, it's also like a theme experience, like mountains. You will see down the road, you will see lodges branded under the Mora, and different type of experiences like desert or eco resorts.
And can I ask if there's any locations, or is that all under wraps for a moment?
Well, normally we do not yet announce it before really the ink is 100% dry. We signed it, exactly. We signed it, and we are confident that these opportunities opening will be happening, especially in the Asian part and in China, because we experience a huge appetite from Chinese and Asian partners, which are willing to spend more money into our network and in ecosystem, because they love these brands. And surprisingly, we experience and we expect not only to have a part of the local market share, it is also for us an added value through the outbound business, Chinese and Asian outbound business coming to destination where we have a bigger structure, like in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Spain. So these people know about our brands. Our brands starting now the 4th year in operation in Asia and in China, and we see that the brand awareness has started. We opened 8 hotels in Asia and China last year, and we might be as TUI Blue and the Mora as well. Okay. And we converted one TUI Blue to a Robinson Club in Vietnam. I think we just opened 2 weeks ago an additional 3rd property in Vietnam. On the middle term, we will have about 8 to 10 hotels in Vietnam, but also across all the destination in Asia and China. We have focused on Malaysia, you name it, Bangkok, Bali, across the region.
I saw a statistic that TUI, the group, sold something like 2.5 million holiday packages 2023. Is that kind of tourism offering, that kind of demand is still growing post-COVID?
I think the 2.5 million packages, it's more or less for package holidays oriented. It's a strong performance, there is no doubt. Still, our main priority and strategic priority is to fill our hotels, all the brands throughout. And yes, there is a lot of demand, and then we are creating new experiences, but also new offering, which is not only the package experience for a holiday, but also some brands like the Mora, like the TUI Blue, with different type of experiences.
That's a trick, isn't it? Because everybody's talking about experiences now. You could argue that the package holiday, etc., was the original ones to ingrain that into the whole experience. So you're having to tweak even more the experience to
I think with our mother company, as a tour operator number 1 in the world, we can leverage a lot about this ecosystem which we have in-house. That's mean I don't think like a lot of hotel operator can offer such a destination experience like us. Namely, if you see, for example, how we do the Tunisian experience, for example, you can book 4 different hotels, 2 different type of brands. That's mean 5-star and luxury brand. You fly with our own aircraft in and out, and then you pay one price, and the transportation locally is done by our domestic management company. So you have all under one roof, and this is what our TUI group give us as a consolidated ecosystem with all the packages and all the experience you need locally and domestically.
I mean, that whole notion of travel from door to hotel back to a door obviously has huge sustainability connotations to it. We've seen, and this is a question I'm kind of fascinated by, is how that's going to change globally and in Europe based on the fact that there's noise coming out of Washington, D.C. about all of this. As a massive group, and you can talk about standalone hotels if you will, or just the group, how's sustainability, how are you tweaking that, how are you seeing that change? Because it's a major part of you. You have the Austrian hotel, I seem to remember us speaking about the Blue Montalban as a kind of flagship of that. But have you seen any differences or tweaks in the last few months, just since our friends in Washington changed?
Okay, this is a political question.
You can dodge it if you want.
No, however, I think for us it's clearly that sustainability is not a trend. It is for us a clear commitment and a business mandatory things which we are pursuing. As a group, we continue leading the ESG discussion and initiatives with owners, with shareholders, but also with managers and with all the group until to implement full decarbonization strategies. Today, we see challenges. There is no doubt in maintaining sustainability, but there is a lot of tools which we are creating in the group, like green financing, like additional funds which implicate and demand the mandatory implementation of sustainable products. We have been using and implementing different projects in different hotels and destinations. For instance, we introduced the first PV panels landscape in Turkey to feed over 60% of all the hotels in Turkey which need on clean energy. And then you see, as you said it, Montafon is the net zero first property, which we have already had. I think it's over a year now, and this is exactly where we're going.
And lastly, in terms of your standalone products, TUI Blue and Mora, give us any numbers on pipeline in terms of percentage increases in the next 5 years. What can we expect?
2 weeks ago, we have made a clear statement to the public during the ITB. We want to extend our network of hotels from 433 hotels to 600 hotels on the middle term. So this is a clear target, no pressure, but we are going on 600 in our portfolio across all the brands.
And that means you being on a lot of planes?
I would say yes. I would say yes. We continue to do so, and not only me. I mean, it's also like our chairman and our CFOs who are traveling all over the places. I'm talking about the brand CFO and the chairman, and we have a very good team backing us up to really handle all these demands and the pipeline which we are focusing on. I think the momentum is very, very well. As you have heard, the group has closed the results of 2024 with 1.3 billion euro EBITDA, which is the best ever in the history. But we continue to target to improve also these results in this year, and the momentum looks very good that we can achieve it this year as well.
And your goals for this year's IHIF? Lots of meetings, lots of new relationships. What's the plan?
Yes, we have indeed. We have here a lot of conversation with potential owners, with investors. We are bringing together investors and owners together to introduce some projects. We're having an event on the third day of the IHIF. Around the IHIF, we have confirmed 28 people coming up, and we are signing 2 LOUs for one Mora and another TUI Blue. So the people are hunting us somehow, and we are here to serve them.
Times are good.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Terence.
Wesam Okasha from the TUI. Thank you for your time. That wraps it up for this particular podcast. As always, Hotel News Now, our website, is full of stories of EMEA and other regions around the world. We've done a piece on a family office out of Portugal called Matanal, which was very interesting, how they're developing not only hotels, branded residents, and even universities for education as a way of legacy from a family office, rather than just giving it to the next generation, who we always hear aren't so interested in hotels. We don't know that in every single case, of course, but that's a good story. Globally, New Zealand had its largest ever hotel sale. We have details on that on our website. Owen, thank you so much for your time. Wesam Okasha, thank you again. It's always a pleasure to see you. Until next time on The Upgrade, the Hotel News Now website, good day.
Hi, I'm Davon Reed.
I'm Omari Head.
And I'm Chris Henry.
We're the hosts of the Next Gen and Lodging podcast on the Hotel News Now podcast network. It's a monthly show in which we interview a new generation of hoteliers to get their insights into a variety of disciplines and topics, from finance to food and beverage and hotel operations. Listen to us on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode of The Upgrade was recorded by Terrence Baker in April of 2025 and edited by Rachel Dobb. Look for this and more at hotelnewsnow.com.